Hey guys, what's up? My name is Luis, and as you see or hear, English is not my very first language, so I created this channel to improve my English skills, especially with conversation. So please be kind in the comments below. Today we're talking about Three-Body Problem, a book written by the Chinese author Cixin Liu. After reading Children of Time and Hail Mary, two of the best sci-fi books that I ever read, not that I've read so many sci-fi books in my life, I went searching for new recommendations of sci-fi books. Then a subscriber of my Portuguese channel said, "Why don't you read Three-Body Problem?" Then I came across this really hardcore trilogy. This was the first non-English speaking book to win the Hugo Literature Prize. Actually, I had no idea what this Hugo Award was, but that's okay. It seemed important to me to mention it. All the synopses I've read were not very clear about the history, so starting to read, it was like diving in the dark. The book has very enigmatic cover that I really like it, and the Portuguese version has 320 pages. It's not very long, but don't expect a really fast reading because it's not an easy one. This is the first book in a trilogy. The second one is The Dark Forest. This one is so fucking good. And the third one is Death's End. These names are really strong names. I paid more or less about $9 in the first book, and I will leave the link in the description. If you buy with this link, you will pay me a coffee in dollars, by the way, which is Starbucks coffee. We also have a series launched by China in the last year, and our friend Netflix is producing a new one. I am very excited about this. And okay, let's go talk about this book. Before we talk about the story itself, it's important to care about this crazy three-body problem. I've never heard about it, but appears to be a very famous and intriguing thing in physics and astronomy. There are a lot of theories about how to resolve it, but there is never a very easy solution for it. And remember, this book is very hard to read. I found it, at least. This book brings a lot of physics and astronomy concepts, and I'm too dumb for that, I confess. I ended up not giving up the reading because I saw so many people praising the ending of this book, but man, it was hard. I was reading in the Kindle, and it was about 700% of the book, and I was thinking, oh my god, I don't have any idea of what I'm reading about. This is the type of book that throws a lot of information in you, and you are lost until come in the end. The author starts to explain everything. Then you say, oh, now I got it. Finally, everything makes sense. Finally. And I needed to get to 700% to start in this part. But back to the three-body problem. It's very hard to see. It's very hard to say this. Imagine that you have two stars orbiting each other. If there are only these two, the orbit will be perfect. Let me try to explain. The orbit will be perfect, synchronous and stable. But now imagine that you add one more star with these first two. The orbits will be unpredictable. This is a very fun word to say, unpredictable. I think I am saying this correct. And the interaction between these three corpses will be chaotic. This is the main plot of the book. We have an alien species that lives in a planet who have 3 stars, so their lives are miserable. They learned how to survive, but they want desperately a new place to live without concerns. And do I need to say anything else? The storyline of the first book is not linear, and this contributed to the hard understanding of the reading. Even because we don't have a 100% defined protagonist, the story revolves around two main characters, this is hard to say too, who live in different periods of time. It's interesting because I did not study Chinese Revolution in school, and the books brings a lot of pieces of the history back in time and how it affected the people lives. One of the main characters, it's Li, a researcher who lived in a small isolated village in the foot of a big mountain in China. This mountain has a very big radio antenna, and the purpose was similar to the SETI, NASA's programs for extraterrestrial life search. Someday, Lee started to work in this antenna, and she found something interesting in the space. And she was the son of an alien, almost. Decades later, we are introduced to Wang, a nanoparticles researcher who suddenly starts to see a countdown in everything that he looks very supernatural. Because of that, he starts to enjoy an unclear type of secret scientist societies, and scientists around the world begin to die until the plot of these two characters meet each other. I recommend this book to everyone who really likes hardcore science fiction. It is not an easy reading book, and you need to pay attention to not let important moments get away, and the story development is slow, take times to catch up, and really becomes interesting only by the 700% of the book. There's a lot of, I don't know how to say in English, but in Portuguese we say that the plot has a belly. The story is going very cool, but then we have a 30-page reading annoying chapter. But after 700% of reading, you begin to say, oh my god, what is happening? I did not expect that. This is so fucking cool. As this is the first book of the trilogy, it leaves a big cliffhanger for the next one, The Dark Forest. As the name says, the universe created by Cixin Liu really is a dark forest. If you don't know about dark forest theory, please search for it. It's fascinating. Imagine that you're alone in a jungle in the night and you don't know if there are other animals spraying you. You don't know if there are something hunting you. You are alone in the dark. Do you scream for someone to help you, or do you stay quiet, trying to not get any attention? If you stay quiet, you will suffer, but maybe you will be okay. If you scream for help, everything that is around you will hear you. Think about that. It's because of this that humans didn't get in touch with other civilizations yet. And this was my review of Three-Body Problem, this awesome book written by Cixin Liu. This book is hard to read, but believe me, it's totally worth it for the second one. The second one is a masterpiece. And you, did you read Three-Body Problem, or I convinced you to read it? Are you understanding me, by the way? Remember of my Starbucks coffee with the Amazon link in the description. Let me know if you like this astrology as much as I like it. It's it. Bye bye.